Hello students, welcome to the lecture on my apparel, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain clothing and its relationship with personality. Describe factors influencing for selection of clothing. Describe types of fabrics and purchasing and selection of fabrics. Discuss different fasteners. Explain ways of cleaning and maintaining clothing. Let's start with the concept of clothing. In the past, most people bought new clothes only when a need arose for a very special occasion or because their old clothes worn out. The average person simply could not afford to buy more than the basic necessities. Today, income is larger, people can buy new clothes rather frequently. Therefore, buying motives have changed. One is able to buy clothes because one likes them. Buying motives vary from consumers to consumer and from day to day. Be fashionable. One discards clothing that is still wearable only because it is out of fashion. This is referred to as consumer obsolescence. Be attractive. One wants clothes that will make us look our best or show off our physical attributes. Impress others. One may want to exhibit our taste level or income level through clothing. Expensive brands of certain items have been labeled as status symbols. Be accepted by friends or colleagues. Peer groups. Peer groups have conservative tastes. They do not want to differ from their groups. Buying patterns suggest that they like some direction or guidance as a framework for their choices. New clothes often help a person feel better psychologically. Let us now understand clothing and its relation to personality. Elements of design. Everything one can see has a design. When one describes something, one uses words that tell about the lines, shapes, colors, texture, and spaces are the basic elements of design. The elements of design are important to everyone who works in textile and clothing, home interiors, woodworking, photography, landscaping, architecture, foods, and the visual arts. Lines can be horizontal, vertical, dotted, zigzag, curved, straight, diagonal, bold, or fine. Lines can show direction, lead the eye, outline an object, divide a space, and communicate a feeling or emotion. Lines are also created by fabric design such as stripes, plaits, or prints. Vertical lines make us look taller, while horizontal lines accentuate width. Line can show movement. Line can suggest rhythm. Shape is an area that is contained within implied line or is seen and unidentified because of color or value changes. Shapes have two dimensions, length and width, and can be geometric or freeform. Design in painting is basically the planned arrangement of shapes in a work of art. Shape can be bordered by a line. Shape can be defined by color, texture, or tone. Shape can be suggest movement or emotion. Shaped in 3D is called form. Color has three properties. The first is hue, which is the name of the colors. Primary hues are yellow, red, and blue. Secondary colors are made by mixing two primaries. Intermediate colors are mixture of a primary and adjacent secondary color. The second property of color is value, which refers to the lightness or darkness of hue. The third property of color is intensity, which refers to the purity of hue, also called chroma. Color is an element of design with endless variety. Color is a mixture of three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Secondary colors are a mix of two primary colors, orange, green, and purple. Color has temperature. Reds and oranges feel warm like the sun or desert. Cooler colors like blues and greens go more with water and ice. Hue is the quality that separates one color from another. Shades are made by adding black to a color. Texture refers to the surface quality, both simulated and actual, of artwork. Techniques used in painting serve to show texture, that is, a dry brush technique produces a rough stimulated quality, and heavy application of pigment with brush or other implement produces a rough actual quality. Texture is the part of the surface that can be felt or seen. Texture is concerned with touch, how something feels. Texture can be rough, smooth, spiky, soft, velvety, regular, or irregular. Texture can suggest emotion by linking with the memory of how things feel. Principles of design balance. Balance is a psychological sense of equilibrium as a design principle. Balance places the parts of a visual in an aesthetically pleasing arrangement. In visual images, balance is formal when both sides are symmetrical in terms of arrangement. Balance is informal when sides are not exactly symmetrical, but the resulting image is still balanced. There are three main types of balance: horizontal balance, vertical balance, and radial balance. Proportion. Proportion refers to the relative size and scale of the various elements in a design. The issue is the relationship between objects or parts of a whole. This means that it is necessary to discuss proportion in terms of the context or standard used to determine proportion. Perspective. Perspective is created through the arrangement of objects in two-dimensional space to look like they appear in real life. Perspective is a learned meaning of the relationship between different objects seen in space. Perspective can be used to draw the audience into a visual. Emphasis. Emphasis is used by artists to create dominance and focus in their work. Artists can emphasize color, value, shapes, or other art elements to achieve dominance. Various kinds of contrast can be used to emphasize a center of interest. Movement. The way the artist leads the eye in, around, and through a composition, the path the eye follows. Motion or movement in a visual image occurs when objects seem to be moving in a visual image. Movement in a visual image comes from the kinds of shapes, forms, lines, and curves that are used. Pattern. Pattern uses the art elements in planned or random repetition to enhance surfaces or painting or sculptures. Repetition. Repetition works with pattern to make the artwork seem active. The repetition of elements of design creates unity within the artwork. Variety. Variety provides contrast to harmony and unity. Variety consists of the differences in objects that add interest to a visual image. Variety can be achieved by using opposite or strong contrast. Changing the sides, point of view, and angle of a single object can add variety and interest to a visual image. Harmony. Harmony in visual design means all parts of the visual image relate to and complement each other. Harmony pulls the pieces of a visual image together. Unity. Unity means a harmony of the whole composition, the parts of a composition made to work together as a total visual theme. Unity is the relationship among the elements of a visual that helps all the elements function together. Unity gives a sense of oneness to a visual image. In other words, the words and the images work together to create meaning. Now moving on to the next topic, we will now study the factors influencing selection of clothing. Selection of clothes should be very judicious so that one can buy best clothes by spending minimum amount of money. Some factors affect the selection of clothes which may vary from person to person as they are influenced by the requirement of the person. These factors are as follows. Personality. The personality, value and culture of a person can be judged easily from his dress. There are different types of personalities. Clothes are an indication of caste, place, state and occupation of the person. Clothes affect the personality of the wearer. People who are introverts prefer light and sober colors, whereas extroverts like bright and gaudy colors. Simple and elegant clothes are hallmark of a serious personality. Age. Different clothes are required for different age groups. Therefore, care should be taken in selecting clothes for a particular age group. Selection of clothes for infants. An infant sleeps for most of the time, so it is important that his clothes are loose and comfortable. These should be made of soft and absorbable cloth, preferably cotton, as they do not irritate the tender and soft skin of the child. Selection of clothes for adolescent. Adolescents like distinctive and unique colors. Clothes with bright color reflecting enthusiasm, cheerfulness, liveliness should be used for them. They like clothes that are in fashion. Their clothes should be creative, styled according to the latest fashion. Selection of clothes for adults. In adulthood, the clothes undergo change. Simple and elegant clothes desirable for mature and elderly. Clothes with design and flowering print look childish. Clothes should be chosen after analysis of the color of the skin or body figure. Selection of clothes for old. In this period, there is loss of flexibility in the body which causes inconvenience in movements. Hence, clothes should be loose and comfortable.
Their dresses should be in consonance with their age. Clothes should be light and easy to wear. They should have simple design and easy to wear from either side with durable stitching. Climate. The main purpose of clothes is to cover the body. Clothes protect us from heat and cold and help us in maintaining body temperature in adverse circumstances. Hence, knowledge of selecting the clothes according to the climate is essential. Occupation. Clothing is associated with occupation. Clothing is associated with profession also. Working people should wear formal clothes. They should be simple, neat and clean. Vulgar and improper clothes should be avoided. Clothes should give a feeling of being smart, active and sober. All would like to wear such clothes that may wearer not cause any hindrance in our working. Businessmen should wear sober and modest clothes. Persons who are going to traveling should wear such clothes which are easy to wash and do not require frequent ironing. Example, terracotta, decagon, etc. Figure. Every person has unique figure. Some are tall or short, fat or lean and thin. Some are of normal height and width. A man should wear clothes in accordance to his figure, irrespective of latest trends in fashion and design. Whatever is the body shape, clothes can make it look different. By judicious use of colors and clothes, the figure flaws can be camouflaged or salient figures highlighted. Occasion. Clothes should be suitable to the occasion. If they are not in accordance to the occasion and place, they would look odd. Therefore, in the selection of clothes, care should be taken about the occasion on which they are to be worn. Expensive clothes like brocade and silkens with bright and gaudy colors may be used on special occasions like parties, marriages and celebrations.
Fashion, sometimes it is commented that so and so person is very fashionable. What does it mean? In simple words, it means that a person follows latest trend in fashion in color, shapes and design, keeps on changing from time to time. For moving along with the latest trends in fashion, one must have the freedom, money, time and knowledge about latest innovation in clothing. Personal choice of an individual is of prime for selection of clothes, but fashion should be done within limits of decency and cult. Now we will discuss the selection and purchase of fabrics. A cloth produced especially by knitting, weaving or felting fiber is called fabrics. Fabrics are manufactured assembly of interlacing fibers, filaments and or yarns having substantial surface, planar area in relation to its thickness and adequate mechanical strength to give it a cohesive structure. Most fabrics are knitted or woven, but some are produced by non-woven processes such as braiding, felting and twisting. Applied loosely, fabric also includes laces, meshes and nets. Types of fabrics. Acetic, one of the first manufactured fibers. It is soft and has a crisp feel. Acrylic, a man-made fiber derived from polyacrylonitrile. Its major properties include a soft wool like hand machine washable and dryable, excellent color retention. Baumwolle. Baumwolle is also known as cotton. Batiste, a lightweight plan weave fabric, semi-sheer and usually made of polyester or polyester blends. Burnt out, a brocade-like pattern effect created on the fabric through the application of a chemical instead of color during the burn-out printing process. Cotton, a unicellular natural fiber that grows in the seed pod of the cotton plant. Damask, a glossy jacquard fabric usually made from linen, cotton, rayon, silk or blends. The patterns are flat and reversible. Duck, the name duck covers a wide range of fabrics, a tightly woven, heavy, plain weave bottom weight fabric with a hard, durable finish. Gum, a unique soluble fiber. Polyacryl, a stable fiber for yarn spinning and non-woven application. Silk, the only natural fiber that comes in a filament form from 300 to 1600 yards in length as real from the cocoon produced by the silkworm. Factors for purchasing and selection of fabrics. While purchasing and selection fabrics, the following factors should be kept in mind. Quality. Quality can be defined as a degree of excellence related to the nature, kinds and character of the fabric. The fabric quality is governed by the following. It should not ravel, entangle or separate into strands. It should not shrink or fade during washing season. Plan to shop the fabrics early in the season. It has to be stitched and worn during the season. One can get fresher materials and a wider selection in the beginning of the season than later. Time. Shopping is easier and quicker when done in the morning than in afternoon. Cost. While buying, one have to consider the availability of money. Let's know the meaning of fasteners. Fasteners are applied on garments to secure the openings. There are many types of fasteners and their application also differs with the types of garments. Buttons. Button closing should be appropriate to the style of the garment. Buttonholes. Buttonholes are placed on the right so that right overlaps left while securing the buttons for girls and women garments, and buttonholes are put in the left front for men garments to facilitate left over right closing. Button loops. Button loops are made on cuffs of sleeves as well as at the front or back of blouses and dresses. Button loops can often be substituted for buttonholes provided loops are compatible with the overall style of the garment. Always make a test loop to see how the fabric works into tubing and to determine the proper size for the loop. Snaps and press buttons. Snaps are a kind of small fastener, have less holding power than hooks and eyes. Now moving on to next topic, hems. A hem is a finish for any bottom edge of a garment. Selection of a hem depends largely on garment style and fabric. Types of hem. There are many types of hem finishes. Let's discuss 4 types of hem finishes. The stitch and turn hem. The hem is even and the raw edge is turned under 1/4 inch and machine stitch every close to the edge. Herringbone hem or cat stitch hem. The hem is evened and the raw edge is left unfinished. Whipped hem. The hem is even and the raw edge is turned under 1/4 inch. Then whipping stitch is done 1/2 inch apart to hold the hem in place. Shell edge hem by hand. Turned 1/8 to 3/16 inch hem to the wrong side and crease between the fingers or press. Clean clothes are important to everyone. Getting clothes clean is not hard if the correct methods and laundry products are used. Soap and detergent. Soaps and detergents loosen dirt from clothes, keeping dirt in the wash water so it does not get back on the clothes. Bleach. Bleach helps keep white clothes white and helps remove many stains. Eliminating germs from clothes. Boiling clothes or hanging them in the sunshine were once common ways to get rid of germs. Washing different types of clothes. To clean a garment, the first step is to look at its care label. Silk. Silk is produced by the silkworm, which creates a filament fiber while spinning a cocoon. Wool. Wool is a general term that applies to all hair fibers because wool can come from goats, camels or rabbits as well as from sheep.
Vary the temperature of your wash program to suit the fabrics in your clothes. So you could choose to wash your delicate silks, lingerie or woolly jumpers with a cooler wash temperature. This would mean reducing it to about 30 or 40 degrees. Things like towels and cottons can be washed at higher temperatures between 60 and 90 degrees. Adjusting the temperature will help you to look after your clothes better so that they last a...
Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Today income is larger. People can buy new clothes rather frequently. Therefore, buying motives have changed. One is able to buy clothes because one likes them. Buying motives vary from consumer to consumer and from day to day. Everything one can see has a design. When one describes something, one uses words that tell about the lines, shapes, colors, texture and shapes. Everything one can see has a design. When one describes something, one uses words that tell about the lines, shapes, colors, textures and spaces. Line, shape, color, texture and space are the basic elements of design. Selection of clothes should be very judicious so that one can buy best clothes by spending minimum amount of money. A cloth produced especially by knitting, weaving or felting fibers is called fabrics. Fabrics are manufactured assembly of interlacing fibers, filaments and or yarns having substantial surface, planar area in relation to its thickness and adequate mechanical strength to give it a cohesive structure. Fasteners are applied on garments to secure the openings. There are many types of fasteners and their application also differs with the types of garments. A hem is a finish for any bottom edge of a garment. Selection of a hem depends largely on garment style and fabric.